Words hold an almost godlike power. Imagine someone who can't see a path to success, someone lost in doubt. But then you come along, choosing your words carefully, sharing your story. And when you finish, they say, "Now I can see. It's clear. Before this moment I was blind, but your words have opened my eyes." Because there's more than one way to see. Vision isn't just through the eyes. It's through imagination, through possibilities, through the ability to visualize opportunity and the future. It's about seeing solutions, unlocking answers, and overcoming life's greatest challenges. Think about it. Every skyscraper, every fortune, every invention, before it became real, it existed in someone's mind. The Wright brothers saw themselves flying before the world believed in airplanes. Henry Ford saw a car in every driveway before the first assembly line ever existed. They didn't wait for proof. They saw the future before it happened. So my question to you today is, what do you see? Because if your vision is small, your results will be small. But if you can train your mind to see the possibilities, the opportunities, and the person you are becoming, then success is already on its way. Imagine trying to build a house without a blueprint. You've got bricks, wood, nails, and tools scattered everywhere, but no plan. You might start hammering, laying bricks, and hoping for the best. But what are the chances that house will turn out the way you want? Almost zero. That's exactly how most people go through life. Working hard, putting in effort, but without a clear vision of where they're going. And then they wonder why success feels so uncertain. Clarity is power. When you know exactly what you want, confidence follows. It's hard to move forward with energy when you're unsure about your direction. But when the vision is crystal clear, every step has purpose. You don't hesitate. You don't second guess. You move forward with certainty. That's the secret of all high achievers. They aren't just working hard. They're working towards something specific. I remember a young man who once told me, "I just don't feel motivated." I asked him, "Motivated for what?" And he said, "I don't know, just in general." I told him, "That's the problem. You can't feel excited about nothing in particular. You need to know what excites you. Get clear about what you want, and motivation will follow." That's the way it works. If you're unsure about your future, you'll hesitate to take action. If you're unsure about your goals, you'll start, stop, start again, always doubting yourself. But the moment you get clear, your actions become strong and decisive. That's why successful people seem so confident. They aren't guessing their way through life. They see the future in their minds before it happens, and that vision pulls them forward. Think of a runner at the starting line of a race. If they can clearly see the finish line, they explode forward with power. But what if the finish line kept moving? What if it was foggy, unclear, or kept changing? That runner wouldn't sprint. They'd hesitate because they don't know where they're going. That's exactly how most people live. They wonder why they don't feel driven, but they've never taken the time to define what they're running toward. Your vision must be so clear that you can describe it in detail. It shouldn't be vague, like "I want to be successful." That's like saying, "I want to go somewhere nice." Where? How? Doing what? You've got to see it. You've got to feel it. The sharper your vision, the stronger your belief. A wealthy man once told me the biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is clarity. He said, "People think I have some secret to success. I don't. I just knew exactly what I wanted while others spent their time being unsure." So if you want to move forward with confidence, get clear on where you're going. Make your vision strong, detailed, and undeniable. Because once you see it clearly, nothing can stop you. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because their thinking is too small. They set limits in their minds before life ever does. It's like standing in front of a buffet with unlimited choices, but only filling half your plate because you believe that's all you deserve. Your life is only as big as your vision allows it to be. I once met a man who told me he wanted to make an extra $500 a month. I asked him, "Why $500? He said, "Well, that would help me cover my bills." I told him, "That's the problem. You're only thinking about survival, not success. What if you aimed for $5,000 instead? What if you stretched your vision? You see, small thinking leads to small actions, and small actions lead to small results. But the moment you expand your vision, your actions and results follow. It's like looking at the world through a tiny keyhole. If that's all you see, you might believe that's all there is. But step back, open the door, and suddenly, there's a whole new world of possibilities. That's what happens when you allow yourself to think bigger, to see beyond what you've always known. Success starts in the mind. If you think small, you stay small, but if you stretch your thinking, you stretch your future. Don't let limited vision keep you from unlimited opportunity. Open your mind, think bigger, and watch how your world expands. If you can see it in your mind, you can work toward it, but if you put it on paper, you give it life. Writing down your vision is like planting a seed in the ground. A farmer doesn't just hope for a harvest. He plants the seed, nurtures it, and expects results. Your vision works the same way. If you don't write it down, it's just a wish floating in your mind, easily forgotten or ignored when distractions come. But when you put it on paper, you turn it into something real, something you can see, touch, and remind yourself of every day. I remember when I first sat down to write my vision. I didn't just write what I wanted. I wrote who I needed to become. I wrote about the kind of life I saw for myself, the financial freedom I wanted, the relationships I wanted to build, and the impact I wanted to make. And something changed. Suddenly, it wasn't just a vague idea anymore. It was a plan. It was a commitment. A man once told me he wanted to be wealthy, so I asked, "How wealthy?" He said, "Just comfortable." I asked, "What does comfortable mean to you? $50,000 a year, $500,000, $5 million? He had no answer. You see, without clarity, how do you know when you've arrived? Writing it down forces you to define your vision, and definition gives you direction. The more precise you are, the stronger your actions become. It's not just about money. It's about designing your entire life. If you want better health, write down what that looks like. If you want to travel, write where you'll go and when. If you want stronger relationships, describe what those look like. When you write it, you give it shape. When you review it, you reinforce it. And when you take action, you bring it to life. Don't leave your future to chance. Take the time, grab a pen, and write it down. Your vision on paper is your blueprint for success. Success isn't something you wait for, it's something you step into. If you want to be wealthy, start thinking and acting like a wealthy person today. If you want to be a leader, carry yourself with the confidence of a leader now. Most people wait until circumstances change before they adjust their mindset. But that's not how it works. The mind follows action. When you act as if you're already there, your mind begins to believe it, and your habits start to align with your vision. I once knew a young man who told me he wanted to be successful in business. He had ambition, but he was waiting for the right opportunity, the right connections, the right time. I told him, start now. Start dressing like the successful person you want to become. Speak with confidence. Carry yourself with posture. Read the books successful people read. Develop the discipline they have. At first, it felt unnatural to him, but over time, something changed. He no longer hoped for success. He became the kind of person who attracted it. This isn't about faking it. It's about shifting your identity. If you see yourself as an average person struggling to get ahead, you'll keep reinforcing that belief. But if you start acting as if you're capable, disciplined, and destined for success, your mind will start to adapt. Your standards will rise, your habits will change, and before you know it, you'll start seeing real results. Athletes understand this principle well. A boxer doesn't wait until he wins a championship to start training like a champion. He trains like one long before he earns the title. A musician doesn't wait until they perform on a big stage to start rehearsing like a professional. They practice as if they're already there. It's the same in business, in leadership, in personal growth. You don't wait to become successful to start acting successful. You start acting successful to become successful. So take a look at your vision for the future. How does that person think? How do they talk? How do they carry themselves? Start adopting those behaviors today. Step into your future self, and soon enough, your reality will catch up. I remember when I first started on my journey of personal development, I was struggling financially, frustrated and unsure of what to do next. But then I got introduced to the power of reading. Mr. Schoaf, my mentor, handed me a book and it changed my life. The words on those pages opened my mind to ideas I had never considered. I began reading everything I could, biographies of successful people, books on business, books on mindset, books on wealth creation. And what happened? My thinking changed. And when my thinking changed, my actions changed. And when my actions changed, my results changed. If you want to grow, you need to be intentional about what you're feeding your mind. Books are one of the greatest investments you can make because they give you access to the thoughts of the most successful people in history. Imagine sitting down with a great entrepreneur, a philosopher, a leader, learning from their failures, their insights, their wisdom. That's what a book does. But books alone aren't enough. Ideas matter too. Have you ever noticed that a single idea, just one, can completely shift your life? A new way of looking at your business, a different approach to a problem, a strategy you've never considered before. It only takes one powerful idea to set you on a new path. But you won't find those ideas in the wrong places. You won't find them in mindless entertainment, in gossip, in complaining. You find them in deep conversations, in study, in mentorship. That's why mentors matter. If you want to succeed, surround yourself with people who are ahead of you. People who can challenge you, guide you, and hold you to a higher standard. I was fortunate enough to have a mentor who opened my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities. He asked me questions I had never considered. He forced me to think bigger. And because of that, my life changed forever. So ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind every day? Are you reading books that expand your thinking? Are you exposing yourself to ideas that stretch you? Are you seeking out mentors who challenge you to grow? Because if you are, you're planting the right seeds. And given enough time and care, those seeds will grow into the success you've been dreaming of. Fear has a way of blinding us. It takes our vision and shrinks it down until all we can see are the risks, the obstacles, the worst-case scenarios. It whispers in our ears, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you lose everything? And before we know it, we're standing still, paralyzed, unable to move forward, unable to even see the opportunities that might be right in front of us. But here's the truth. Fear is nothing more than a fog. It looks dense, overwhelming, impossible to get through, but the moment you take a step forward, it begins to lift. That's where faith and action come in. Faith is believing in what you can't yet see, and action is the proof of that belief. The moment you act in faith, something shifts. The fear that once seemed so powerful begins to weaken, and suddenly you start to see possibilities you never noticed before. I remember the first time I stood in front of a room to give a speech. My hands were shaking, my mind was racing, and fear was telling me to sit down. But I took that step anyway. And once I started speaking, something incredible happened. The fear faded, and confidence took its place. The same principle applies to every area of life. Want to start a business? Take the first step. Want to build wealth? Learn and invest. Want to change your life? Move forward, even when you're scared. Because on the other side of fear is vision, and once you break through, you'll finally see the future that was waiting for you all along. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle isn't the absence of problems. It's the ability to see solutions. Challenges will always be there. The question is, what do you focus on? Some people see every obstacle as a dead end, while others see them as stepping stones. The wealthy mindset isn't about avoiding problems. It's about training your mind to look for opportunities hidden inside them. Think about the great entrepreneurs of our time. They didn't sit around complaining about what wasn't working. They looked at problems and thought, how can I solve this? The person who invented the airplane didn't dwell on the fact that humans couldn't fly. He focused on how to make it possible. The person who created the electric light bulb didn't curse the darkness. He worked on a way to eliminate it. I remember early in my career when I faced financial struggles, I could have focused on how unfair it was, how difficult the economy was, or how others had advantages I didn't. But I made a choice. I started asking, what can I do to change this? That single shift from problems to solutions changed my life. The mind moves toward what it focuses on. Focus on problems, and you'll find more of them. Focus on solutions, and opportunities will appear. The key to wealth is training your mind to see what's possible, even when the odds seem stacked against you. As we wrap up, remember this: your future is being shaped right now, not tomorrow, not someday, but in this very moment. The thoughts you allow into your mind, the vision you create for yourself, and the actions you take today will determine where you end up. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck, talent, or background. It's mindset. It's the ability to see beyond current circumstances and believe in a future that hasn't happened yet. It's refusing to be a victim of small thinking, fear, or doubt. It's choosing to visualize success so clearly that it becomes inevitable. Don't wait for circumstances to change before you start believing. See it now, feel it now, act as if it's already yours, because the truth is life will give you exactly what you demand from it, not what you wish for, but what you work toward with unshakable belief. So take charge. Build your future in your mind first, and then bring it to life with action, discipline, and faith. Because if you don't design your future, someone else will. And you don't want to live by someone else's script. Now go out there and see the future you want, because once you see it clearly, you can't help but move toward it.